Good one. You know, have we usually have sponsors on this show, but sometimes we want to give back to charity. For example, what you're seeing on screen right now are actual signed doc copies of the restraining orders that Lou and John got from Jim Cornette. Now, these are $8 a piece. You can go to jimcornette.com and get them, and part of the proceeds actually go to charity.
I think all the proceeds go to charity.
Oh, yeah, there
They
you
all
go.
do.
You could also be watching, and I think our audience is watching this right now, Summer Games Done Quick, another awesome charity of which helps the Doctors Without Borders Foundation. But there's one more charity that should be talked about, at least close to my heart. Now, I wish Lou and John were here to help me emphasize this charity. It's the Fuck Chris Christie Foundation. Because we in Jersey are suffering a painful disease called Governor Chris Christie. The Fuck Chris Christie Foundation will help us get this fat, beach-stealing asshole out of office as fast as is humanly possible.
I think he's being not arraigned, but brought up on ethical issue charges or whatever.
Well, you don't have a government shutdown just so you and your family can enjoy a day at the beach all by your lonesome, and then suddenly decide to reopen the beaches the next day.
Gee, that sounds rather convenient.
Yeah, really.
Very convenient. It just sounds like, oh, I should probably get out this beach and open it up, or else some people are going to get angry at me. Too late. People are already angry at you.
No, he knows people are
And
angry.
unfortunately, Chris Christie does not have the vocabulary of Mark Goulin.
Yeah. He already knows people are angry at him because when people told him off, he's like, well, when you become governor, you could do shit like this too.
Well,
I need to get that off my chest. How are you fellas doing?
clearly we all need better jobs. Anyway,
We always do.
I had a really good fourth, but that actually goes along with today's theme of wrestling, so I will save that for later.
Well, do we have any news other than what happened at Slammiverery?
I don't know. I mean, I looked through everything.
Well, no, we have more than
Oh?
that because it's been more than just Slammiversary. Come on, guys. Come on.
Oh.
Does nobody want
G1.
to talk about New Japan
All right.
and how there is
G1.
a new United States champion?
Yeah, our good friend
And it's our favorite person in the world, Kenny
Kenny
Omega.
Omega.
Who is also
Go
who
ahead.
is also a Canadian. What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Well, and here's the funny thing. I might have to start watching New Japan.
Why?
Why?
I might actually have to start looking at things about Kenny Omega.
What do you mean?
Because Denim Fritz said, "Holy shit, Kenny Omega is good."
And let me guess, he's a big
And this is Denim Fritz.
and he's a guy who doesn't like Kenny Omega.
Well, Denim Fritz is a parody account. He's the guy that hold on a minute. I have to get the Denim Fritz real quick. He's the guy that has the pinned tweet of
Gino loaned me some of his sugar for my coffee. In a totally unrelated note, I haven't slept in 4 days. That was some strong coffee.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Omega. We rip you on the show. We'll probably rip you some more, especially when our normal two co-hosts are also here. But you're the new United States champion. Now you get to join Kevin Owens as the co-faces of America from Canada.
here's another one just for you guys.
Gino just said to a girl, "Are you looking for a stud? Because I've got an STD and all I need is you." I had no idea Gino could spell big words.
Well, we might as well get into it. Well, this does mix into Slammiversary, but TNA is once again no more. Anthem Sports, about reach one. Anthem Sports has absorbed Global Force Wrestling, of which the company will be known as from now on, while keeping the Impact Wrestling name for the TV show.
I'm really hoping this kind of burns down, and here's the reason why. A lot of this, for me, I hope really affects the broken gimmick for Matt Hardy, and because if there's a change of things and whatnot, it can get so convoluted that eventually nobody knows who has the rights.
True.
And then the Hardys can snatch it up if they want to real easily and say, okay, we own them. Bye-bye.
Yeah, but
Or the court system will go, guys, you've changed your identity so many times, you don't know who owns
Yeah,
anything.
because it started at TNA, then they went to Impact, now they're Global Force.
Now they're Global Force, even though it's under Anthem. You've also changed ownerships twice.
Yeah.
You know, including one that was really fucked up. So, I don't know what happened, Slammer. Too many people were paying attention to G1 to care, I think.
Yeah, because it was G1.
Because it was wrestling as opposed to an angry Mexican.
Oh,
I have to make up for all the bullshit.
I do have the thing from Facebook. Let me.
Okay, so you actually have the
No,
card.
No, I'm looking at the card right now, so I'll just roll through it real quick. Allie Braxton Soda, and no one cares. The LAX. Let me actually put this back up. LAX defeats Demonte Homicide. LAX wins the tag team titles.
Okay.
D'Angelo Williams and Moose defeats Chris Adams and Eli Drake.
Now I gotta say about that D'Angelo Williams, remember, is not a wrestler. He was like a first draft. Was he a basketball player or football player? I don't remember.
Football.
Football player. First draft, he decided to go into pro wrestling. From the stuff that I saw, because they posted because someone posted on a forum bits and pieces of his match. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but I mean, for a person to be able to do the kind of stuff that he did, wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. He just needs a little bit of polish. Let me put it this way. He did better on his on this match than Eva Marie has done in any of her matches. So that should tell you something right there.
And what else? Ethan Carter defeats James Storm in his strap match.
Yay! Ethan Carter deserves better.
Jeremy Borash and Joseph Abyss Parks defeats Josh Matthews and Scott Steiner in a no DQ match.
Okay.
Alicia and Eddie Edwards defeats Angelina Love and Davey Richards.
Okay.
Sanjay Dutt defeats Low-Key in a 2-out-of-3 falls match for the X Division Championship.
Okay, so the asshole lost.
Yeah. Sienna defeated Rosemary to become the new Global Force Knockout Champion.
Okay.
And Alberto El Patron, of course, defeated Bobby Lashley for the Global Force Unified Championship.
To unify the titles and to make the Global Force, to become the Global Force champion. At which point, what happened?
Oh, he decided to bring back some old wounds and just think, I gotta say this right here, right now, because I have a platform and it's big, even though it's not gonna be on TV. So, why bother? Go ahead, say what he said.
Gosh, the guy was a moron. I mean, just there are certain things that I understand. The problem is Alberto Del Rio or Alberto El Patron or Dos Caras III or whatever the fuck he wants to be called has the same problem as Jeff Jarrett did.
Well,
he thinks he's world championship material anywhere. And while wasn't he world champion in WWE at one point? Wasn't he
twice?
Del Rio was a two-time champion. Yeah,
he's a two-time champion, but I think he wanted to hold it for a lot longer, and he felt that he was world championship material for, he was better than everybody else there.
Well, might as well.
Now, Go ahead.
I was about to say keep going because after this I was going to play the promo. Since I
Oh,
have it on my
okay.
phone.
Well, go ahead and play the promo because I actually haven't heard the man speak before taking his Viagra. So go ahead. Right. Low production values, folks.
What, can you hear it?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I can hear it. I just know it's coming off a cell phone.
I would say when we get a couple of million views and I can actually afford a studio for the show, I'll let you know.
No. First of all, what?
I don't even know.
Is he still talking?
Yes.
Does this devoted idiot have anything else to say?
No, he's done.
Oh, it did just finish.
It
Okay.
just-
First of all, I don't like the term sports entertainers as much as anyone else. Okay,
I don't think a
That's-
lot of us do.
that's probably the only valid point that he has. If you're going to make a speech, make it after you've left the venue. Don't do it during the venue. Otherwise, the stage show and fourth wall are broken, you morons. And this is coming from a guy who watched wrestling at a shitty American Legion post in a Barrio Baldwin Park, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
This from a guy who watched the New Day Usos segment where they just torched the fourth Raw a couple times, but we'll talk about that later.
The nice thing about that is I think Xavier Woods is actually taking that in stride. I don't know because I didn't see the full bit because it wouldn't load for me.
Oh, sorry.
But you know, it's. I feel bad for Paige too. Honestly, I really do. Or excuse me, Pagina Caras.
who's in the front row with a complete mask on and everything.
Yeah.
This is gonna look so. It's like we know who it is. So you're still under contract.
Yeah, and that's not going to help her at all. That isn't going to help her at all. And some of it's her fault too, because there's been a lot of, I guess there's been a lot of weight loss, which may be due to, but we'll get into that later at Bar Wrestling too as well.
Also, here's another thing too. I think she's trying to do everything she can to get kicked out of her contract, but unfortunately, there's one big problem.
The movie?
If they kick her, if they get her kicked out of the contract while she is still under recovery mode, which is what they're basically putting her on, this is going to be bad PR for WWE.
Well, it's not just that.
It's not.
It's not going to be bad PR. The problem is they'll have to pay out the rest of her contract.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably more what it is.
That's the only thing. Now, the thing is, I genuinely think that Paige does want to wrestle there. I genuinely think that. But the other problem that we're running into is that she has a couple things going for her, because no, we're not just talking about the wrestling, we're the sports entertaining or whatever the fuck. But she's also on Total Divas.
But the question is, will she
So
actually
for
show
her,
up?
well, here's the thing. She hasn't been on Total Divas for a while. So I do not know if she gets paid royalties for it. If she gets released from that contract due to because there are business terms that you can use to release people from the contract and release them from the royalties for
The main thing would be breach of contract.
It would be a breach of contract.
If Paige was to breach a contract, then yeah, they could cut her loose without paying her a cent.
Yeah. And she could possibly lose the royalties from Total Divas.
From Total Divas or a match she was in.
Yeah. Well, it's not like they're making money on matches that they were in anyway, but Total Divas was the big thing. That's the big thing. So I couldn't tell you. But that's speculation and hearsay, and it's not fun. All the best for Paige, really, because honestly, I think part of it isn't her fault. I mean, I really think that she could do better. But she has to want it, and I don't think she wants it.
Well, it's a mix of like she does of whether she wants to like take the brass wing, but she's also engaged to a guy who basically outright hates the company and takes almost every shot she could to take a pop shot at it.
Yeah, she's just stuck in between a rock and a hard place, right?
And also, always the both of them complaining about Triple H's penis.
Did Paige fuck Triple H also?
Like, when's that sex tape come out?
That was a joke. Fine, the joke went over everybody.
I know, but also the fact that she could also be the one that's basically listening to Alberto, and she'll believe anything he says right now.
Yeah. Well, at least two of us. I don't know about Yuri. At least two of us will know love will have you marching into a landfill before you realize even though you know it's a landfill.
Been there, done that, paid the price for it.
Same here.
Been there, done that, wrote the book.
I read the book. I felt sympathy because I felt it.
Yeah. Should we move on? Oh, and just to update the rest of the Impact block we have here, the only thing I remember after that is the TNA management pretty much told Borash, Matthews, and Pope if there's any more shenanigans at the announce table, all three of you are gone.
Okay.
So that ends that feud once and for all.
Okay.
And supposedly the newest member of LAX is Alberto Del Rio. Well, Del Patron. He had his rematch against Bobby Lashley, and during the match, while Patron was pretty much knocked out, LAX ran in and beat the shit out of Bobby Lashley. Conan ran in with the mic and announced that Patron was the newest member.
Oh, okay. So, well, I'm glad that Alberto L. I drink shitty tequila is backed up by team members. I think honestly I think Jinder has the better posse.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he actually has someone that are willing to work for him.
So let me try to think of what happened on Raw and SmackDown. Raw was
Raw was pretty boring from what I understand because it's the go home show.
It's the go home show, which is always boring. So that's
only two things came to mind for that show, which was the Joe Lesnar interview, which was
separate.
Interesting.
It was separate. It was in separate areas. Joe got pissed and started to march where Lesnar's area was, and half the WWE staff blocked him.
And I quite enjoyed that because it was actually really fun to watch. Because seeing someone it almost felt like this was a lot more real than I thought. It's like, dude, you actually look like you're putting feeling into this, which is crazy. And
what,
then
Joe knowing what he's doing? No,
it's more Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar just playing his role right. And then we also had the second biggest thing, which a lot of us kind of saw coming. We had Roman come out during the match when
they fed Apollo Crews to the Strowman. Not Apollo. Was it Apollo Crews or Titus O'Neil? One of the two to the Strowman.
Oh, to the Strowman.
Yeah.
It was Crews, and then he tossed in the ambulance, tried to say get out of here. And all of a sudden, it's he hit it multiple times, saying, "Why'd you get out of here?" Goes to the door, opens the door, and who happens to show up of all people? Dude.
Wow.
Yeah, Roman finally gets his payback.
And then he speared him at the end of the show. So the ambulance match is still happening this Sunday.
Well, we know the match is happening this Sunday.
We're gonna talk about it. SmackDown. The only notable thing was the Usos that I could think of.
Actually, there was the.
Oh, go ahead.
Just before we go to the wrap up, I think because I got some things to say about that, some good things to say.
Well, I'm actually going to play at least 3 clips from it from what I think were the best lines, but go ahead.
Daniel Bryan suspended and fined
James Ellsworth.
Yes, and told him that if he is not out of that place in the next minute...
No, not just that. If he violates the suspension, Carmelo will be stripped of the Money in the Bank briefcase.
And he also said if he's not out of the building... By the time he says, "Yeah, I want you out of this building right now," or she loses that briefcase. So, in other words, you get the fuck out right now, or you're fucked. Which was
in more
great,
ways than one, and none of them good.
Yes, and I thought that was a great way to do it. That doing it in that sort of way just made it seem like, okay, now Carmella has to do this for the next 4 weeks or 5 weeks on her own. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens during those. And also, during those 30 days is the pay-per-view during that time.
Well, Carmella is the champion. She could just wait out the 30 days and then wait for Ellsworth to come back to cash in.
Yeah.
But then I feel like there's going to be some more tomfoolery with him saying that if you do anything to force this upon you, I will have Triple H come over here and fire your ass.
Brian can straight up fire him.
Brian can straight up fire him, yeah. Brian is the GM. He can straight up do that.
Yeah, he doesn't need Triple H, and if necessary, he doesn't even need Shane.
Nope.
Hey, got a good point about that. I almost forgot. But I think we basically got that all done and over with for now. Let's talk about the real show of the night.
Let me pull.
What, bar wrestling too?
Well, that would be the next big show of the night. Let me.
Because it was on a Tuesday.
Well, that is true.
That is true. You did tell us that.
I have to go to my YouTube history again and hit this. I'll try. It's 9 minutes, but I'll try to cut to some of the better bits.
The table we set. Before the new day existed, dark matches and pre-shows is all you get. Whoa. Now he gets. Whoa. Okay. All right. Okay. So say thanks to the cats who let you mice eat more than crumbs. We should call you Chucky Cheeks. What? Chucky Cheeks? 'Cause you're bums. Let's just keep it PG. You know what's good. Just don't get all rated R like your boy Xavier Woods. What's happening? Something's happening. Yo.
Now, granted, that one, hopefully, just go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go.
Did Woods take that in stride?
Yeah, he laughed it off.
Yeah, he did.
That's what I kind of figured. You know, it was for him. So good for him. Good for him to take it the way he did. Keep going.
Now, this is probably the only good line Kofi had. He was like the worst of the bunch, but
Y'all don't know about Weenie Doo? They don't know about Weenie Doo? That's when your gut hangs out more than your Weenie Doo.
I'm only letting it keep playing because their payback on Kofi is better.
Happy 4th, guys. Hey, Mom! Ain't you Kofi Kingston? Did you used to be Jamaican? Nah, you was Jamaican, but he stayed in the lane. Hold it down. Hey, he gonna get this work. Y'all hold it wherever y'all need it. Ain't you Kofi Kingston? Hey, Oos, wasn't you Jamaican? No, you was Jamaican, but he stayed in the lane. Ran around the whole world giving Jamaicans a bad name. I mean, muffin top, crop top, that's the best you got, boy. Your forehead look like a back of a hand. If Ron Simmons was here right now, he'd probably step to you and be like, not too close. Hey, basically, the super kick a sharpshooter. It's the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. But when it hit, it's finish him. I hit you with this fatality. Hey, this is fairy tale versus reality. Salvation over a massacre. The only brothers I ever win. Back-to-back Grammy, Slammy Award winning.
Let me see if I get the last one before we actually talk.
And y'all two came dressed as some recently divorced dads.
No, that's not it, but...
Now, Jim, you and your brother, you're tag champs. You turned the universe into believers. But please always remember, you were absolutely nothing till your wife put you on Total Divas.
Now, Xavier says a little more. The Usos start a fight, which gets them disqualified from the rap battle.
Right.
Hence, the New Day wins the rap battle, much to the dislike to the fans, because everybody's like, yeah, with the exception of the Usos outright destroyed you if it was just a plain rap battle. The rated R line, no one recovered from.
Right.
Yeah, no one recovered, and that's why on the YouTube playback, it's gone.
Like it never happened.
Exactly, and I watched it, and I was like, yep, they did.
Except it did.
It's one of those things that you totally know that they were like, oh, please, Xavier,
the Usos probably got a nice conversation in the back. Since I found out recently that both the Usos and the New Day essentially write their own material, so no one knew that was coming until it hit.
Yep.
But you know what? I find that's a good thing because sometimes we need to have unscripted. And
what, a promo? No.
No.
I know, but here's the thing, though. if they can get more people to do this, this might actually help. Just have the writers create the storyline baseline, and just have the guys take it from there. No need for a story.
When we were talking about this last week, like that's a good way to separate. That's a good way to end the whole every wrestler is the same being is, hey, this is what you're gonna do. Go out and do it the way you do it.
And it also helps push the people that can do it.
Yeah,
And then the rest of the people kind of get pushed to the wayside because they're not going to get over.
exactly. Like for example, going back to Raw real quick, the promo that Enzo cut was actually pretty good, and he actually did manage to sneak Kaz backstage. Now,
It was a good promo for absolutely making no sense.
yeah,
But it was a good promo. You got the emotion from him that he was pissed that
essentially his brother
destroyed his trust, destroyed his bond, all that, and I'm going to get you. Yeah, what he said didn't make any sense, but the vibe you understood completely, and that's fine.
Now, skipping to our prediction real quick, I think Kaz is absolutely going to destroy Enzo in the fight.
Same here.
But that was a good promo.
Yes.
It was. Now, here's the thing that comes to mind when I was also reading of that the reason why Cass hasn't gotten a intro yet is because they were still trying to work all this out for the beginning. So this Sunday, we might see Enzo's very first singles intro.
Well, he has his singles intro. Kaz doesn't have any music yet.
That's what he said. That's what he says. That's what he said.
Yeah, you said Enzo. He said Enzo, not Kaz.
Say Enzo? I thought he said Cass.
No, he said Enzo.
I thought I said Cass too, but
No, he said
hey,
Enzo.
it's late.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I'm about to say because Enzo's going to keep Soft as a sim because that's him singing it.
Yeah, that's his song. So makes you wonder what Cass's intro is going to be from now on.
Well, I mean, they CFOs have put out CFO money has put out some fantastic music.
They already have Kaz's Tron video. They just need music to go with it.
And I mean, all I have, they'll get it right. I think, So maybe it'll take a couple tries, like they did with Joe. I mean, Joe, it took a couple tries, but once they got it right, it was dead on. Joe loves the music that he has.
What boom, 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 boom.
Well, do you know what the inspiration for that music is?
What?
Godzilla.
Oh. Good point.
Basically, what he wanted was kind of a weird hip hop vibe, and he goes, "Well, what do you want the music to sound like? I want it to sound like Godzilla fucking destroying Tokyo."
So
that's what he got.
It's like a hip hop version of Godzilla's theme.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly what that is, and he got it. And they're just like, "Yeah, okay, we got it. Got it."
One of these days we got to do an episode on the importance of music. Especially entrance music, but
no, I mean that goes as far back as the late 70s, early 80s.
Well, exactly, but still,
particularly with a certain set of three people known as the Freebirds, but we won't get into that much. Okay. Anyway,
guess we should talk about your bar wrestling before we get to the actual predictions.
Okay, well, I went to a barrio in Baldwin Park again because apparently the American Legion Post in Baldwin Park was very happy that they were able to make some money off of wrestling, unlike some of the other wrestling things that were over there. Because at the bar, they were making a killing on tips and a killing on alcohol. I had 2 rum and cokes because it was cheaper than the beer that I would normally drink. The beer that I would normally drink would have been $5. The rum and cokes were $4. And the bartender made them good. I usually drink mine about half and half. So, yeah. But I only had 2, so I was okay. First match. I have to. The problem is with bar wrestling is that they don't write down their cards. So it's very hard for me to figure out what's going on without looking at either pictures or or something else. Let me look at my photos because I did take a lot of photos. Oh yeah, that's right. It was a mixed tag match. Now, I was unaware that Joey Ryan's wife was in a tag team. No, it's not a mixed tag team. It is a tag team called the Killer Bays. I hate the word bay, but for them it works. You know, two
I was saying
blonde
what
chicks.
BAE Bay. Oh god.
Yes,
Okay.
BAE Bay. Yes,
Uh,
but I mean they were heels versus Taya Valkyrie, which was the chick with the big boobs that beat Shayna Baszler last time, and Luchasaurus. So the guy who's about 6'8" with the reptile mask, who I have actually seen without the mask, drinking in the back. It was kind of funny to see him in the different stages of putting on the thing, because he actually puts on like black grease paint before he puts the mask on. And at the end there was some grease paint all over Laura's face because of all the wrestling. It was kind of funny. I do have to agree with Jessamine Duke on this one. How in the hell is this fair? Somehow the Killer Bays went over. They beat Luchasaurus and Taya Valkyrie. But it was kind of interesting to see the two girls go over, the girl and the reptile monster guy dude thing.
why am I picturing a sea creature from Southpaw Regional?
No, nowhere near as high production values.
Okay.
No, nowhere near as high production values. Okay, now I remember the second match. Okay, so the second match was a Japanese match. Kikutaro, who looks like he works at a gas station in Japan and wears a mask that looks like a face, versus an actual veteran of the Japanese wrestling scene, Yoshitatsu. Yoshitatsu won, and he was already in my camp because he wore a t-shirt that said Bullet Club Hunter on it. I was all for that.
Can we get those t-shirts on Shop Zone?
Well, Yoshitatsu doesn't work for WWE, but
Well, I know.
and he's
not anymore.
and he's 42.
Wait, what?
He's 42. I looked up his age. He's like 41, 42. He's still hits hard. Good guy.
The same Yoshitatsu that was in WWE, right?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
So that means he has to be in like his mid to late 30s when he was there. I swear he's like in his 20s.
Yes.
The more you know.
And fantastic match. Although I hated the finish because Kikutaro was about to hit his finisher, and then he asked for the microphone. And then he spoke in semi-broken English how he was thankful to be at bar wrestling. Thank you for coming, blah, 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 blah. Here's my finisher. He drops the mic, and then he gets back body dropped by Yoshitatsu. Because Yoshi's just sitting there stuck in this headlock for like 3 minutes. Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck?
Dive. Anyway.
Yeah. Third match. Well, there was a guy that I had mentioned in the last bar wrestling that kind of looked like a cross between Brian Christopher and Dolph Ziggler. Well, his name is Ryan Nemeth, but in the indie scene, apparently he goes by like Young Briley or something like that, because that's over. Well, he was supposed to face Rey Fenix of the Lucha Brothers, who the other half of that was Penta El Cero Miedo, who was not there. But Rey Fenix couldn't make it, unfortunately. So there was an issue. So he did the usual thing. My opponent couldn't make it, blah, 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 blah. I'm issuing an open challenge to anybody in the back. Anybody in the back. The music hits, and out comes the Queen of Spades. So we now have Briley versus Shayna Baszler, who is quite the legitimate threat any way you look at it. It was a quick 5-minute, which included a lot of choice lines, including Briley saying, "I only do men."
Getting his ass kicked by a woman.
Yes, but that turned into a chant of "We won't judge, we won't judge, we won't judge." After the "He does men, he does men, he does men" chant. He's doing everything right in terms of getting the right chants and the right heat. Baszler wins with the rear naked choke. He taps in like half a second. He just gets caught in the thing, just bam, tap out, wildly, like he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He leaves. Well, he tried to leave first. The first time he tried to leave, he got blocked by Jessamine Duke.
Oh boy!
And then Baszler threw him back in the ring. But they both did really well, I thought, for a 5-minute. It was a quickie. And at the very end, Briley goes out the door saying, "I don't do girls!" But he had already left by the time the chant started, so it didn't matter.
Oh, boy.
That was a good match. That was a good match. By the way, did I mention that Shayna's aunt was there, too?
Actually, no, you didn't.
Interesting talks with her, but yeah, that was cool. The next match, a tag team called PPA. I think they're a local tag team. I forget who they are, but they're actually pretty good. One guy's a little thin, one guy's a little thicker. They work out pretty well. They're trying to be, the showboat, bad guy,
So I will show you some of my full power. That kind of showboat.
Sort of, except more California and less Japan.
Oh.
Against the tag team of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and the whole of the lollipop, Joey Ryan.
Oh. It's like, oh, and who's going to be his part? Oh, Joey.
God. Now, just so you know, Joey Ryan comes out to, what's that song about pina coladas?
If you like pina colada.
So something it was a Humming in the Rain or something like that. That's his theme song. He always comes out to that. Cody comes out to something else. I forget what he comes out to. They actually have a good match. Cody being the professional that he is. I see some of the problems that people are complaining about. He is taking a lot from his brother. He's taking a little bit from his dad. And I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? If you're going to steal from someone, steal from the best.
Oh, there you go.
And let him kind of evolve what he needs to evolve. Because he's going to need to. He's going to need to. Yeah, he's going to do
sooner
that.
Sooner or later, he has to break out of Dusty and Dustin's shadow. But
well, Dustin's shadow isn't that far because all he has to do is drop the body condom and he's okay. But yeah, he's never going to. He's never going to break out of Dusty's shadow. In fact, he's making use of Dusty's shadow. In fact, by partnering with a wine company.
Oh.
And he pulls out because after the match, after they win, which, by the way, was actually pretty well done. The finishing maneuver was a combination penis suplex with a kick to the back of the head to complete the flip.
I'll never get over the fact that there's a move out there called the penis suplex.
That's okay. It's the vag suplex for Laura James.
So
anyway,
this wine advertisement.
He pulls out the bottle. It's covered in yellow polka dots.
Of course.
It's the dream bottle. At the end of the match, Joey Ryan goes, "We make a really good tag team." He grabs the mic. "We make a really good tag team." Cody, and he gets on one knee.
Oh no.
Can I be in the Bullet Club? And Cody has actually worked out a deal. I'm not sure if Cody's worked out a deal. I think they're going to talk to some people to get this arrangement. At the next show, at Bar Wrestling 3, which has already been confirmed on August 17th. Yes, I've already bought my ticket.
Damn. Dude.
Well, there's two reasons.
We actually call this segment the Bar Wrestling Review Show.
Well,
which is good.
It's good because it's actually California wrestling.
Plus, it gives us something that breaks
else
us from
to talk
that.
about. That's not WWE.
Or that's not WWE or Miss making fun of TNA. But continue.
Yeah. He's actually Cody is going to get Bullet Club shirts for everybody that attends the third show. That's not the reason why I'm going, because I intentionally wore a Revival t-shirt.
Oh, for the fuck the Revival chance.
Unfortunately, Cody did not notice me.
Oh,
I'm disappointed. I are disappointed. But
you have to bring a bigger sign next time. Go ahead.
I need to bring a better entourage. Unfortunately, there was a guy there wearing a John Cena t-shirt, so you know, and he didn't get kicked out. So that led. This was actually a shorter card than last time because it was July 4th.
Yeah, everybody's like too busy not trying to blow up their hands up with fireworks.
And the event started at like 4, and it's supposed to end at like 6:30, 6:45. So we're baking at like 100 degree. We're baking at like 95-degree heat before we're allowed to enter.
No, those old armories that don't know what the word air and conditioning mean yet.
This isn't an armory. This is an American Legion post.
Oh, right.
Where even if you had the air conditioning, we were all sweating anyway. The next match after the intermission, which allowed me to get a drink. Well, 2 by accident, but that's another thing altogether. Was an actual wrestling match.
Wow, really?
And I gotta say, once again, anytime you bring Brian Cage into the ring, oh my gosh, it's good. Holy fuck, it's good. I am a big fan of his. If you watch any of Brian Cage's matches, you'll understand why I go, why the fuck is he not in developmental in fucking NXT in Florida? Because he's fucking Vince McMahon's wet dream.
Psst.
The man's pecs are as big as my head.
I'm trying to picture who would win a peck off between him and Big E.
It would be pretty close. It would be pretty close, but I think Cage is in better shape. But oh god, yeah, look up Brian Cage. He's that good, and he can move. He can actually wrestle. He can cut a promo. He's good. He's good. And he went up against somebody equally as good. Somebody I'd never heard of until 2 days ago. A guy by the name of Killer Cross. Now, I don't know if Lou or John would know anything about him. Lou might. But Killer Cross is a big main eventer in AAA in Mexico. I don't know why he's doing stuff in Lucha Underground, but, you know, it's money.
Hey, American exposure. There you go.
American exposure. Well, he's definitely not Mexican. I got to talk to Killer Cross after the match. Cage won the match. Just 2 big guys beating the shit out of each other. A lot of good power moves, a lot of good stuff. Killer Cross is the more lithe of the 2, but that's not by much. And they put on a great match. They put on a really good match. I enjoyed the shit out of it. It should have been the main event. But it wasn't, because the main event was strange. Anyway, before I get into that, I did get to talk to Killer Cross beforehand. Cage and Cross are actually really good friends, so they enjoy beating the shit out of each other. And so they put that. That's why that match turned out to be as good as it was. It was a good match, really good match.
Wow.
But the last match involves Rocky Romero of Roppongi Vice.
Now, mind you, this is the part we wish John was here, because he probably would have had fun with this, but Hopefully, if
you
you're
would
listening to the recording, John, you're probably gonna have some zingers when you get in next week.
Oh, yes. And out comes, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Rocky Romero, but he's part of a tag team called Roppongi Vice, which has one of the catchiest entrance musics I've ever heard, and not in a good way. It's bad. I mean, the chorus is just Roppongi, Roppongi, Roppongi Lights, Roppongi Vice, and it's just that over and over again.
Boy.
Okay. And his partner, Super Panda.
A Super Panda.
Super Panda.
Super and Panda.
Yes, he was in fact wearing a panda mask. I even got a picture with him.
Okay.
Now here's the thing. To create unity within the two teams, within the tag team, while they did come out separately, they both were carrying Cuban flags.
The Cuban Alliance Unite.
Yeah. And they went up against, and I bought a T-shirt of his. I promised myself if I went back, I would buy a T-shirt of his. Oh gosh, Willie Mack, the man. Oh gosh, that guy. Like I said, he can do just about anything too. Willie Mack's a good hand, really good hand. And his tag team partner, Boone the Bounty Hunter, who was definitely not John Morrison. Not at all. Couldn't possibly be John Morrison at all. Nor could it be possibly promoting a movie at all whatsoever.
Well, just take a look at the picture if you haven't already. That's who Boone is next to Will.
Yes,
No, the guy who's not wearing glasses is Boone.
Yes, Boone the Bounty Hunter. It was actually a pretty good match, but we're talking at least 3 of the 4 wrestlers are actually really good. I mean, we are talking about John Morrison here. He's really good. Willie Mack, obviously. Rocky Romero is actually very good in tag team. Super Panda, he's all right, you know. But the real star of the show was the referee. Goes by the last name of Knox, who is also involved in the best spot of the night. Now, you know me. I'm not usually big on ridiculous shit. I mean, penis suplex, you kind of have to be there to be in it, to do it, to understand it.
I think your rant on Total Nonstop Deletion helped. I think I took a second look at that. Go ahead.
Exactly. But John Morrison is playing Boone the Bounty Hunter. He's not playing John Morrison, so he's acting like a bounty hunter, including an illegal search and seizure on Rocky Romero. So he's digging through the tights, trying to find something. You can't find anything on Rocky Romero. So some more wrestling happens. He beats up Super Pandas a little bit. And Boone goes, "Let's find those drugs," or something to that effect. So he starts shoving his hand into Super Panda's tights. He's just rummaging around, and he finds a plastic bag of white powder. And holds it up for everybody to see. We're not done with the white powder.
Wait, it's still going?
Oh, we're not done with the white powder. Some more wrestling happens. And Rocky gets the idea to blind Boone the Bounty Hunter. So he opens the bag and he grabs a handful of this powder. And he hucks the handful of powder at Boone the Bounty Hunter. Well, Boone sees this coming and he ducks. Moves out of the way. It hits the referee in the face. I'm expecting the referee to be blinded at this point, right? Because it is a white powder spot. It's usually, this is pretty normal. A white powder spot. You take a powder, whether it's salt or powder or whatever, or sugar or whatnot, and you throw it in somebody's face and somebody's blind, right?
Just got here. Is this AAA? No, this is we're talking about something called bar wrestling, which happened in California over the 4th of July weekend.
At a barrio in Baldwin Park, yes. This was not a blinding powder because the referee, Knox, got a whiff of this powder and immediately went berserk, taking out all 4 wrestlers out of the ring.
So mysterious powder,
which may or may not have been a Schedule II drug. I'm in pharmacy school, folks. I have pharmacy tech school, folks. I have to know what Schedule IIs are. Or C2s. May or may not have been found on a person or persons inside a wrestling ring, and may or may not have been used in a spot where the referee inhaled and went berserk.
And this was in a wrestling ring inside of American
Legion post, yes.
American Legion post, where half the audience is probably drunk at this point.
So they take everybody outside of the ring, and somehow the referee takes a bump where he gets a bar stool thrown in his face. Now, I don't know if he gigged or not, but he was definitely bleeding.
Oh, there's actually a video of this?
I don't know if it was... I don't know. Wait, did somebody find a video of it?
Apparently. So, Toko Wa Tamari says, I've seen videos of this spot. It must have been crazy live.
Toku, he's in. I think I've run into the guy. He's I think I've seen him in a couple of places.
Oh.
Yeah. I was there. We all went shit crazy over that spot, and then of course there's still powder on the floor, right?
Oh no.
So there's a point where Rocky and or not Rocky, Willie Mack and Boone are in opposite corners of the ring. And Rocky decides to get a whiff of the leftover powder that's on the ground.
Uh-oh.
And he goes berserk and proceeds to do European uppercuts on each person 10 times.
Psst.
At the end of the 10 times, he gets another whiff and does another 2 European uppercuts to each.
And Toki did confirm there are videos of it up on YouTube.
Oh, that's excellent. I'm so glad that those are up. I need to do a PSA. And anybody in Los Angeles, California, there's an Amber Alert for a 2014 black Toyota Camry. Anyway, which has absolutely nothing to do with the white powder on the ground.
Sure, it doesn't.
Oh yeah, did I mention that the bleeding referee went out of the ring, and in comes Taya Valkyrie.
Oh boy.
Who then decides to put on a referee shirt?
Well, the referee's high off his damn mind. Someone else needs to fill it.
Well, by that point in time, he left the wrestling ring and went outside. Kayfabe, I'm assuming he was running laps around the parking lot.
Probably slowly removing his clothes.
No. When he came back, he still had clothes on. He happened to take off his ref shirt at the time.
Ah.
He took off his ref shirt when he went berserk. He comes back. They start wrestling again. A pin gets reversed. Boone turns to Taya and wonders why she's counting. And of course she goes, this is America, the land of the free, and we're fair. Which of course got a big pop. But in the end, USA won over that crazy country of Cuba, and with Boone hitting Starship Pain on one of the two. I don't remember.
It's nice to see that Boone could do the same moves as John Morrison, as if they were
the same person.
Yeah, really.
almost like they were the same person. That was actually a pretty good match. Again, it was one of the weirdest. Like I said, it was one of the weirder matches. But it got over. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, there's no, come on, this is it. Definitely that spot, along with the the penis suplex, obviously would not get over in WWE television. But you know what? It's fantastic. The spot got over, and
like
and
Ricochet
you can't-
doing the 630 senton.
That's a different kind of spot, though. That's a different kind of spot, though. You know, this is the ridiculousness of the situation as opposed to the ridiculousness of the move that's being done.
It could be it could be more ridiculous. It could be Naomi's glow in the dark women's title, but we'll get to that next week.
I'm so glad it doesn't blink.
It blinked.
It blinks?
It blinks.
Like super rapidly?
No, not seizure inducing, but it blinks.
Okay. Like I say, I didn't think she got the belt of epilepsy.
Anyway.
But yeah. Overall, you know, the card was different. I would say that the first card was better than the second, but the second card wasn't bad. And I had a great time. But the third one I'm going to be a little wary about.
Well, just to make sure that the first one wasn't a fluke or this isn't just the off day.
Well, it's not.
Hey, he was talking about Ricochet and a certain cat-based wrestler doing the same moves.
Yeah, well, you know.
So, shall we talk about?
I'm not. Well, let me finish. Real quick.
Okay.
Because Bar Wrestling 3 has already been confirmed for Thursday, August 17th, and at least it's at 9 p.m., so at least it's at night. The subtitle is Bar of Hardcore. That makes me wary. But they've already...
Is Tommy Dreamer or Sandman involved?
Damn it, you took away my promo!
Oh, I'm sorry, I was joking for that!
No, they've confirmed Tommy Dreamer!
I just guessed!
Yes, they've confirmed Tommy Dreamer!
Oh, God, I'm sorry! Go say your promo!
It's too late now.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it was a guess!
But they've all, and also the world's cutest tag team will be there. So yes, Joey Ryan and Candice LeRae will be there, or Mrs. Johnny Wrestling, we should say.
Oh boy!
But the world's cutest tag team will be there. But yeah, confirmed. So it'll actually be nice to see the Innovator of Violence there, an actual Extreme wrestler that I would actually like to see, rather than people from CZW using light tubes, which I hope are never used at this show.
Oh, God.
Because that's just asking for a health hazard.
No. Why does CZW use light tubes?
Because they're outside. Most of the time they're outside.
A good point.
Most of the time they're outside. They're in somebody's backyard somewhere or some shit like that. I do expect thumbtacks. I do expect kendo sticks. I do expect trash cans, yada, yada, yada.
And we might expect fire.
Maybe. Well, if they bring in,
depending on the fire marshal that day.
In that place, shit, I don't think they'll be allowed to. Shit.
Well, that segues to Sunday's pay-per-view. I'm getting better at this hosting thing. Reed, did you completely fall asleep on us yet? Reed?
Yes, he did.
Oh, that's right. His voice isn't feeling that well. All right. Well,
so let me bring up the thingy.
Yeah.
Either he's trying to talk or there's something else, because I'm seeing the microphone blink on and off, but that's okay.
All right. Don't kill yourself, dude. We know you have a voice thing.
And there are people over and yada yada yada. We get it. Don't worry about it.
For new people, we do this from least important match to most important match, even though chances are we're going to get the order completely wrong of when the match is actually going to be filmed. So, I hate to put this as least important match of the night, but Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt.
Oh, he is awake.
Oh, there you go.
I was doing laundry.
Oh, you missed my announcement of Tommy Dreamer?
Oh, I heard it.
I'm going to go with Rollins. I want to go with Wyatt, but yeah.
This one might be the one that might change our point scale, definitely, but
I'm gonna go Wyatt on this one, just for shits and giggles. At this point, I have no idea what the hell they're doing. I have no idea whether I care or not.
I've watched Raw. I don't know what's going on.
Good point. Yeah, I'll go with Wyatt on this one.
Yeah,
Ty's
Toki, we
going
wish we could care about a lot of these matches we're about to talk about, but
pretty much.
Reed,
I don't know. It's just
We will give you 2 days.
we'll give you the day since Lou and John are not here, and they still have to
Yeah.
put in their picks as well.
Yes.
I honestly think that because of how this pay-per-view is going to be and how we don't have any people for opinions to go put around, I think all 5 of us should have like a 5-day grace period until.
Well, it can't have 5 days.
Well, it can't be a 5-day.
It can't be
grace
5
period.
days because the pay-per-view is Sunday.
I mean 2 days.
2-day grace
Yeah, that's
period.
why I said 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fine.
all 5 of us have
Well,
2 days.
we can still discuss the matches and even make picks if we have them.
Yeah, I think by Saturday, like Saturday afternoon, we should officially put in our picks and post them to our page, and just to say, here, okay, I thought it over. I'm putting our picks in. That's just what we should do. Just put your picks in for this Saturday, put it on the page, and I'll upload it. And it has to be in before
Midnight.
It has to be in before midnight. But
Well,
before
midnight EST.
Midnight EST, so 9:00 PST. Okay.
Yeah. So, and it has to be done before any betting pages come out.
Yeah. So
Well, that's
before,
different.
so before the Vegas odds.
Yeah, before the Vegas odds come out, because that's the way we could basically spoil ourselves. So,
Well, we can still talk about the matches. So let's go on to the next one at least. I said this earlier, and this is going to be a mini booking toilet segment. If they want to push Big Cass as the next big thing, he has to absolutely destroy Enzo Amore. It has to
Agreed.
be a beating of epic proportions to the point where the referee has to stop the fight. Enzo cut the promo of his life on Monday. He could take the ass whooping and still come out $1 million. But if they want to push Kaz as that next big super heel or even the mid card heel, he has to beat Enzo like he owes him money.
and I feel like that's what's going to happen because honestly, it's the only way for Big Cass to get big. I mean, Enzo's already over for what he has done over the years. But right now, it's time for Cass's turn, and Cass needs to show his dominance in the ring and show that he has become the heel that really we all wanted him to be.
Agree. You guys took the words out of my mouth. Next match.
All right. So Roman versus Strowman. I want Strowman to win, but let's admit it's the Roman Reigns show.
It is. It is.
It is, but
It is. If they're moving up things that we think that they're moving up,
Yeah,
it's
'cause
going to be a Roman
The
show.
Roman is they're gonna move up to SummerSlam because Strowman was supposed to face Lesnar, but now it's gonna be Roman, which pushed up the summer. But yeah, and we usually talk about these matches a lot longer, but there's usually also a bunch.
There's
more
also
of
usually
us.
5 people.
Yeah.
And I will say this because I've been hearing, just reading up on what the sheets are talking about, and some of the sheets have been talking about that Roman will not be winning this, and it'll actually be Strowman going to go up against Brock Lesnar for that title. But again, that's also for another match we need to talk about because we don't know how that one's going to be, but we kind of have a idea for it.
Idea.
But I'm gonna have to say it's going. I still have to think about it still, but my initial pick.
We're just discussing the matches right now.
Yeah, just my initial thinking is that it's going to be Strowman for 2 reasons. One, even though Roman just came back, through storyline injury, and so did. Well, it's I don't know what Roman's been doing lately.
The Strowman.
Strowman.
The Strowman's back, and I think having him lose, it's what's going to ruin that push that they got back to show that. I mean, he came back on an ambulance and Braun, like as usual, and it's like you can't get rid of someone's like push like this, and like just after coming back like what 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and that's just gonna ruin him right now. So at this moment, my initial thought is going to be Strowman.
All right.
I am going to respond to that with 3 words. Never trust creative.
Trust me, I know we say that every week.
They've
found new
had
ways
they've had a hard on for Roman since the beginning. Vince likes him, but Vince also likes Strowman. But
yeah, so who's the one he's going to jerk off to more?
Well, yeah, it's exactly. Well, it's good. It's going to be the match, and he's going to explode like he did in that one thing in whatever in that spot. But
and also, it's not just a regular match. Remember, it's an ambulance match.
Yeah.
So this can basically go either way. That either person could just toss them right in there and have them come out. And once that ambulance is gone from the building, it's basically over and done with. And I know how they did everything, and I know usually how WWE does things over a period of time of like showing off how the heels and faces fight against each other like that. We've seen the pattern. But this pay-per-view, I have no clue who to go with because Braun Strowman just came back. He injured Roman. Roman came back in the ambulance to beat him up as well. It's really conflicting, but I just have to go with Strowman for my initial one to pick right now. I still got to mull over it, but I just look at the Strowman because his push is been returned. He came back in a big way, and it's just they can't ruin it right now because this is the one thing they can't ruin right now is someone like Braun Strowman and just say, "Oh, sorry you lost when you just came back. We're sorry," even though it has happened before, and they've totally been pushed of anything. It's like any push gone, so it's like they can't stop it right now. They can't. It has to go to Strowman.
All right. Well,
never
trust creative.
I know.
Anyway. So I guess we're going on to Hardy's versus Cesaro Sheamus because I really think that Bliss versus Banks is more important.
Actually, I was going to put on the cruiserweight match first. Neville.
There's a cruiserweight match.
Yeah, Neville versus Tosawa.
Even though it's a pre-show.
Oh, okay.
Oops,
well then,
I didn't know that was a pre-show.
Oh, okay. Well, Neville's going to win that one.
Neville's
anyway.
going to win.
Anyway,
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hardy's versus Sheamus and Cesaro.
Sorry to burst your bubble on that.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right. It's all right. We didn't know.
Even on the list anyway. I am going to go. I would probably go with Cesaro and Sheamus anyway. They're riding high on that. This feud needs to end. And
Well, they're always going to end with the Hardys winning, but that's probably not going to be till the pay-per-view after this. I see.
Oh, okay. You see another month of this?
Yeah, so I see another month of Sheamus and Cesaro holding the belts.
I do.
You see the feud continuing past.
Yeah.
Cock and balls with gonorrhea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, Strowman has improved greatly over the last time.
Strowman's been fantastic. I wasn't over on him for the longest time, but he's fantastic.
Here's the thing, though. Great Balls of Fire and Battleground are the only pay-per-views for this month, and then
next month is SummerSlam.
Next month is SummerSlam, right?
And that's all the way in the 20th. So we literally have like a month and a half
of Hardy versus Sheamus and Cesaro for another rematch.
Yeah,
and maybe with any hope, they finally sell the Anthem thing, and we get a little bit closer to the Broken Hardys. That, let's admit it, we all want to see in WWE.
We all want to see
once. I'm sure you've probably seen all the things that Matt Hardy has been talking that he's supposedly getting it back.
Jeff has been saying all the old Matt Hardy lines, like delete and obsolete. So
that's also
they're working it in, but they're waiting.
Yeah.
just waiting for the moment they can finally go into full Broken Hardy's world.
Let's
Now,
just
here's the
say,
thing though. Matt Hardy put on his social media, I forgot which one, but he said that in a few days you will see something. So, will it come out during Great Balls of Fire? We don't know, because here's what's something that's also been put out, and of course, by PW Insider. They said that that's basically still at a standstill. Like,
Of course
you know,
it is.
If it was
at-
if it was over and done with, I was like, yeah, we're going to see the debut of Broken Matt, and
we would not be hearing da-dana, dana, dana,
Yeah.
da-dana, dana, dana. We'd be hearing a piano solo.
I-
That's what we'd be hearing.
Well,
We'd honestly be
the
hearing.
Hardys and WWE wants the Broken Universe. The only
Yeah.
thing that's holding, I'm responding to Toki in the chat. The only thing that's holding him up is Anthem Sports. That is literally the only thing that's keeping them from actually doing the gimmick.
So I mean,
But yeah,
the
as
full
for,
on,
as
the
for
full
right
on.
now, if we're dealing with Team Extreme Hardys, then Sheamus and Cesaro are going to hold the belt at least till SummerSlam.
It's kind of funny you mentioned Broken Hardy on Wrestle Circus. They showed on one of their replays. Broken Matt was wrestled a match against Colt Cabana of all people, and there was a standstill in the match, and out comes. There's a standstill in the match where they fight each other. They both get actually everyone got knocked out. Broken Matt, Colt Cabana, and the referee. They all got knocked out. And then the piano solo music hits again.
Ooh.
And out comes Brother Nira. No, that's a female. That's Leva. No, Sister Nira.
Sister Nira?
Leva Bates cosplayed Jeff Hardy.
Well, the Broken Universe.
And did the whole obsolete, delete, broken gimmick. Badly, I might add, but at least she did it.
Hey, the Broken Family's extended. They also extended it to Finn Balor to as much as they
To an
could with the
extent.
lawsuit.
Well, technically speaking, Okada is now a member of the Balor Club. So if you want to talk about his,
Tosawa is a member of the Titus brand.
yeah. Well, no. Okada, Okada from New Japan was actually backstage at Raw.
Yeah.
And him and Finn Balor are actually really good friends. So they got meeting and they took a picture where Okada was wearing the Balor Club jacket. So I mean, there'd be some very interesting prospects that they could get from there. I have a friend who doesn't like Okada that much, but what the hell do I know? I am not vested enough in New Japan to know. And I think if I keep it that way, there's a problem with that. But that's for another show. So shall we actually go on to the main event of the? No, we have
we have 3 more matches. The women's match first.
Yeah, we have Bliss versus Banks.
Bliss, like I said several times. And sorry to interrupt you, Will. Like I said several times, Bliss is going to be the placeholder until it's time for Asuka to come and murder her.
Agreed. Bliss. Go ahead.
Because they showed last week that Asuka was not going to show up to NXT.
She's not coming back to NXT until she gets a challenger. And they showed the house show of her and Bliss actually standing face to face against each other. So
yeah, raising their titles.
And here's another interesting thing. She mentioned I watched NXT, which by the way, the match between Bobby Roode and Roddy was excellent, and I'm very happy about the finish, the way they did it. Even though Bobby Roode won, Roddy did get a pinfall. It's just that the ring presence of Bobby Roode was was working, and he put his foot outside, but the referee did count 3. He just spotted the foot afterwards, so he had to reverse the decision. But technically speaking, Roddy got a pinfall. Extend that out a month, please. Extend that out a month.
They're going to have to. I can't think of it.
And have Roddy and Bobby do it all over again. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Have them do it all over again at NXT Takeover.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Save it for the pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Hey,
we all know what color's good.
Anyway, it's interesting that you mentioned Asuka, because they had a segment where they were talking to Ember Moon, which, by the way, involved an NXT microphone and 3 people holding either a smartphone, a small microphone, or one of those little tape recorders. So it made
like
it look
press conference.
It made it look authentic. Well, they were inside the Performance Center. So it made it look authentic. I'm doing those stupid little nerd quotes in the air.
Quotes.
Yes. At which point Ruby Riott comes down and says, "I couldn't help but overhear you and say this. You've been gone for a long time, and you think you deserve a shot." First of all, Nikki Cross got her shot and she lost. And someone else got her shot and she lost. It's my turn to get my shot. That's what I'm training for. That was probably the first good promo I've heard out of her. So hopefully she's getting a little more time to talk. I'm still not over on her character yet. They had another thing on NXT where Peyton Royce and Billie Kay were complaining because there was no celebration for Billie Kay's birthday.
Oh boy, the Australians.
The Australians, who were supposed to be like the iconic duo, I guess is what they're calling themselves. And I mean, they're supposed to be heels. And you know, Peyton's bitching that no one did anything for Billie Kay, and then Billie Kay just goes absolutely bonkers, saying there's no confetti, there's no cake, there's no celebration, and she starts bitching, and then something else happens in the background that was much more important, so they walked off. And it was one of the wrestlers talking to some girl, but I don't remember who they were. It wasn't that important, but it was more important than Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Honestly, I think if they use them right, you'd be fine. But I don't see Asuka going anywhere with that title. She's going straight to Raw.
Yeah.
She's going to take that title to Raw. She's going to beat the shit out of Bliss, and then there will be a vacated title. In fact, there was something that got leaked. It involved some of the world's strongest women in sports, and one of them was Stephanie McMahon. But there might have been a leak about this that they were talking, because there were 2 different versions that were printed, and both of them mentioned the Mae Young Classic, but one of them mentions a championship belt. Now, while we know that the Cruiserweight Classic,
just to interrupt real quick, Toki said it was almost talking to Thea Trinidad.
Oh, Thea Trinidad. Okay. Oh, that's right. Cien Almas was over there.
Yeah.
Esta loca, whatever. That's right. I remember Esta loca. So they talk. So anyway, we obviously the Cruiserweight Classic ended with the Cruiserweight Championship. The UK tournament ended with a UK Championship. Now, obviously, those are meant to promote certain divisions, but we already have 3 women's belts.
They're not going to add a 4th.
They're not going to add a 4th. That'd be stupid.
Maybe the winner of the Mae Young Classic gets a Raw
the
title. The NXT Championship. Yeah, the
NXT Championship is what I'm thinking, because they're doing a lot of the preview matches on NXT. The prelim matches on NXT for the people that get into the show. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Also, I do not know if Shayna Baszler is going to the show. My first hunch is no, but never say never.
Never say never.
Never say never. I don't know.
So, Intercontinental title match, The Miz versus Dean Ambrose. Miz.
I hate to say it, but Miz.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I like Dean, but Miz is on that heel roll. I
Oh,
know
my
Dean
my
told me
dog
about
my
this one.
dog is now a Dean Ambrose fan.
Oh,
You know why?
why?
He wears an official Dean Ambrose dog collar. It was the only one that was appropriate because it says this lunatic runs the asylum on it. And he's right. This dog does run this house sometimes, so
Yeah,
he's
but
such a cute dog.
Reed, you got a pick right now, or are you going to hold it for later?
For me, I'm gonna go with the Miz on this one, simply because the Miz he just has that charisma that, and he said in a
Plus, he
in
got
the
that
ES,
Miz Taraj, so it's always
yeah,
going to be 4-on-1 at this point.
yeah, and plus he did one of the he did one of the WWE.com exclusives, and it was like the guy just he just has that charisma right now that to me is working just right. He is way too good as an IC champ. That it's just he's really, and he said that I bring prestige back to the belt, and he has. I can't go anything other than the
Like,
Miz because
and we don't like the Miz much on this show, but give him
No,
credit like this. He's in character 24/7 in public.
he's on point. I don't think he's brought prestige back to the belt,
Belt.
to the title, but he has brought importance back to the title. Because if he brought prestige back, I'm sorry, but the only person that could bring prestige back to that title would be resurrecting Kurt Hennig from the dead. That's just how I feel, because prestige would require making the Intercontinental belt better than where it's supposed to be, and Miz hasn't done that. He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to
because it is a mid-card title. But if you're talking about prestige,
you have to have someone who should be in the world title picture holding the IC belt, and I can't see Miz as a world title contender anytime soon again at all.
Correct.
To be in there.
Correct, and yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, that's where it should be. I mean, I don't think Randy Orton or Batista or if he returned, which I don't think he will, or
Cena's going after the IC
or
belt.
Cena's going over. Well, Cena's on SmackDown.
Well, Cena's on both. Remember, he's on both shows now.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
yeah, 'cause he's free agent.
Because he's a free agent.
And it's nothing against Miz or Ambrose. They're both former world champions, but there's being a former world champion, and then there's being like the Cena, AJ Styles, or
there's a difference between. Let me put it this way: Kurt Hennig, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Owen Hart, Steve Austin, despite what Lou might say, The Rock, and then there's The Miz.
Good point.
I think that should answer all those questions.
There we go. So I guess we lost our one viewer, so might as well go into the main event of the actual main event of the evening.
I've bored the people, unfortunately.
I think that was my fault this time. So Lesnar versus Joe.
While I think Lesnar is going to win, Joe is going to murder him.
This is going to be a fight, a knockdown.
So I'm going to pick Joe. I am going to pick Joe.
A knockdown, drag out street fight that's going to go up and down. And if done right, it should be one of those fights that you just go, "Oh, damn! When's round 2?"
I don't think it's going to be a street fight, but I think it's.
You know what I mean? It's going to be
it's going to be a really good power wrestling.
It's going to be a power match.
It's going to be a power match, and both these guys, either are MMA trained or have fought in MMA. Joe's really good. I'm glad Joe is taking my advice from E3. I told him to kick Lesnar's ass. I don't care if he wins or not. I just want him to kick his ass, and he's been doing it.
He's been doing it.
So if I'm
gonna say he's been doing it.
He's been doing it, so he's obviously taken my advice from E3. I mean, what can I say? I told him to do it.
Yeah, they made.
I must be better than Heyman. They need to pay me. They need to pay me.
I know we said never trust
better than
creative,
Heyman
but
money.
this was actually genius writing. They made Joe look so much of a threat to Lesnar. They make you think he actually could win, and even Heyman straight up said, if Joe could successfully lock in that Kakia clutch in the middle of the ring, it's ball game.
Yep.
But of course, we never seen Joe taking that 5 either, so we don't know what's going to happen if that takes place.
Right. So
I
my
would
pick-
almost. I
so
would
my pick
almost
is
say-
Joe with an asterisk.
I'm going to say Lesnar only just because. But there's going to be a round 2 somewhere down the line. I know they have their plans, but hold my words. This time next year, we're going to at least have Lesnar Joe 2.
Oh, It's Joe. It just has to be Joe. Just because
Just has to be Joe.
you can do it, Joe.
I'll happily eat my words if it's Joe, but
Oh man, it's just
well, that's pretty much it for the episode. Unless
Yeah,
anyone else has
that's it.
anything to add. Well, we're losing Reed slowly.
yeah, just a little bit.
I think we should take this time to end the show. Go watch Wrestle Circus on twitch.tv/Wrestle Circus.
Like,
They do a great job over there. They showcase some good wrestling over there and some shit wrestling, but some good wrestling. You can obviously find me at twitch.tv/YellowJacketGuy and follow me on social media on Twitter at the YJG.
This is my actual Twitch channel. Though you could go to Hastly Kayfabed Recap on YouTube if you missed this episode. If you missed this episode, you can actually watch all of our episodes on that channel. This is my Twitch channel. I'll also play video games on here because, well, it's a Twitch channel.
And this show has been a lot more tame than the last several ones, so
Well, that's because
Well-
2 of our co-hosts are missing.
this is true.
Yes, and it's kind of crazy that they're both out, and you kind of wonder what happened, guys. Like we were
Well.
ready for you.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything
And
you
of course,
anything you want to plug, Ninja?
just make sure to let them know that they have until
Plug for
Saturday
yourself.
So we're talking about plug
Plug
for
for-
yourself, not them.
plug for myself. I got nothing really. Just
Okay.
if you want to follow me on Twitter, which is my only real place I'll ever really show off, it's the Ninja Command. If you can find me there, good luck on Twitter.
I know Lou has no social media things, but John, our most controversial of co-hosts, he has YouTube channel Twin Family. So Twin Family. So check out his old game stuff there. And we will see you next week to see how badly we did in our picks. Bye bye.
Bye bye.